Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
You know, the gag order was reinstated again yesterday and on cue, but it was only covering the judge's clerk, right? So on cue, Trump went off on the judge and his wife again. Glenn, it's like whack-a-mole. What do we do? I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it looks like the institutions of government refuse to learn their lesson, right? It's wonderful that Judge Engoron is protecting his court staff, but how many others are going unprotected? As you just mentioned, the judge's wife, Letitia James' team of attorneys, the witnesses, all of whom are endeavoring to hold Donald Trump accountable for his wrongdoing. All of these people are just kind of left to be threatened and endangered by Donald Trump and his foot soldiers. It is insanity. It's institutional insanity that we're piecemealing things like this when there is one sure way to stop the threats, and it's to detain Donald Trump pending trial. Judge Chutkan said down in the D.C. case, if he were any other defendant and he was saying these things, he would be detained pending trial. So how about we get to it?
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, Glenn, with, so many, people everywhere are saying it, but on Twitter, that just there's no other country in the world that would allow him not only, to run for president, but not to be in prison already.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you tend to be like me, happy clappy, and believe that justice is coming and justice matters. But I some days are like, oh my God, this is. It feels. I think Lawrence Tribe just said something about this. Like it does feel like this. We are just creeping toward fascism with some help from the mainstream media. The judicial system. I hope it holds. I know you've dedicated your life to it, but how are you feeling this morning?
Yeah, it feels like we're slouching toward the end of our republic. And if the rule of law doesn't wake up, and if the good people of law enforcement and the court system, don't begin to take this more seriously, I don't know if everybody is looking at this like, well, it's not my problem. Maybe another jurisdiction will take care of it, another court, another prosecutor. This is our problem. This is our collective problem. It's an American problem. And there is a solution. Applying the rule of law as it was intended to be applied. And if we don't get there, we're giving it all away to Donald Trump and his MAGA foot soldiers.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Our democracy cannot hang on one unqualified hack judge in Florida that, and God knows the combination of factors that could, result in him becoming president again and him getting away with all of it. This was the Lawrence Tribe post. He said, we continue to drift toward dictatorship, still hoping for some intervention that will allow us to escape the consequences of our collective cowardice, our complacent, willful ignorance, and above all, our lack of any deep commitment to liberal democracy. As the man said, we are going out not with a bang, but with a whimper. And, that's why voices like yours are so critical, Glenn. But, you said, like, for instance, you said if Trump were allowed to negation his way out of prison time in exchange for a promise not to run for office again, that would encourage tomorrow's aspiring dictator to do it all over again. So D.A. Willis's no plea offer for Trump approach is exactly right. So, we're obviously left hoping for Georgia, hoping for the J6 case, right?
Yeah, and the J6 case is coming. The Supreme Court could try to temporarily pause that case. I don't think it will. I've said all along that the Supreme Court justices so covet their power and their status that I don't think they're going to facilitate Donald Trump, an aspiring dictator, to get back into power, because he would not only terminate the Constitution, he would marginalize the Supreme Court. So I do think the J6 case will begin March 4th. Yeah. I do think the jury will be voting guilty, will be convicting Trump probably late April, early May. He will be sentenced 60 to 90 days after the jury finds him guilty, and he'll be ordered into prison, I believe. So that may be our last.
Well, thank God Ron DeSantis is in such good shape. On the bench.
Talk about a bloodbath.
Wow.
That debate. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Oh my God. So obviously, again, we overuse bombshell, but Maggie Haberman, ABC News, reporting that a Trump lawyer told investigators she warned Trump he would be committing a crime by ignoring a subpoena on classified documents. Trump lawyer Jennifer Little, is this one, has told Smith's grand jury she made it very clear to Trump that ignoring the Fed's subpoena would be a crime. She told prosecutors the former president clearly understood her warning. I know we've said game over a million times, but and the question is, does it matter with Judge Cannon in charge? But that's a bombshell, right?
It is a bombshell, and that lawyer will also be forced to testify against Donald Trump, albeit, in the Florida trial, and who knows when that will unfold. Of course, I was happy to see District Attorney Fani Willis say no plea offer for you. I can't say that without thinking no soup for you. Right. But no plea offer for you, Donald and Rudy and Mark. She's determined to force them into trial. She will get them convicted on the RICO count and the other indicted charges. It's going to take some time, but I still believe we're going to get there.
Yeah.
It's just that we're endangering so many people in the process needlessly by just waiting for a trial to begin in hopes that that will be the vehicle to hold him accountable.
So, bombshell number 2, Glenn. Trump used $40 million in payments that weren't disclosed properly to a financial watchdog to pay taxes and expenses related to his sexual assault. Judgment, your friend and ours, Tristan Snell, said Trump caught red-handed moving $40 million from Trump Organization into a personal bank account in violation of New York court order forbidding him from moving money because of his rampant fraud. This is a major violation. Trump New York businesses will now 100% be liquidated. Another question of, okay, is this enough for actual consequences?
No. Trump is Trump is basically telling the court system, just put it on my tab with all of the other violations. I know y'all are not going to do anything to me. Look, you tell me I can't threaten the judge's clerk, I'm going to threaten the judge's wife. How about that? What you going to do about that? Unfortunately, Steph, the answer is we're not going to do much about that. And this is where we are. And that's why we're slouching toward the end of our republic.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry. If I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.